For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel now. At Blind Community Thrift Store on YouTube, and more info about this radio reading service, Navalins, and the Blind Community Thrift Store at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. The Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service will begin shortly. We will be reading local news from around the Southwest Missouri area, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on YouTube, KSMU, and on the Audio Reader Network at Kansas University. For more information, please visit us at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. Please stay tuned as our broadcast will start soon. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel.
Oh, no, you're good. All right, do you want to put your phone away and then we'll get to business? Do you want to read the intro today? Do you want me to?
You do.
Okay. If you need me to tap in, I will read for you.
Oh.
Or if you need to step outside, you can also do that. You know what helps? Squeeze my arm. I'm not gonna do that one because I'm not allowed to hurt clients. Oh, no. Squeezing my arm doesn't hurt me.
The time is 10 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. My name is Maggie. I'm here with Madison and Savannah.
Hello.
We invite you to listen to our broadcasts both live and on demand. Our live sessions are available on the Blind Community Thrift Store YouTube channel Monday to Friday between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. each week. Additionally, you can access on-demand content through the Audio Reader Network, which offers a wide range of audio materials for the visually impaired community. To explore content from the Audio Reader Network, please visit www.reader.ku.edu. The site provides details about accessing content via Amazon Alexa, Audio Reader Network mobile app, and information on receiving a radio to listen to the broadcasts by KSMU Radio. All broadcasts are played over KSMU's subcarrier airwaves at 67 kilohertz on 91.1 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for more information on receiving a pre-programmed radio. Do you want me to go ahead and read the daily thing? Or do you want to do weather?
I want to start with the weather.
Alrighty.
I always do. I know, I'm just saying. First article of the day is from Ozarks First. Today's forecast is scattered storms possible this afternoon, and it's by Tom Schmidt.
Yep.
Am I pronouncing that
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
Okay. The computer is.
How about we just start reading?
Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. Rains and storms from this morning are wrapping up across the Ozarks. There were a handful of low-end severe thunderstorms with this activity overnight, but the risk has ended this morning. Additional rain and storms are possible this afternoon southeast of I-44.
Mhm.
I-44 today, and some of these storms could also become severe. There's a picture. There's a picture that says weather headlines, and it shows a what would that be? A partly
Cloudy background,
cloudy, but there's a little bit of sun in there too. So
a sunny and cloudy background.
right, with three message panels on the screen. It says storm potential
Yep.
this afternoon, a little heat relief Thursday, and hot this weekend, and can't rule out rain. Dang. Continuing, today will be warm in the mid-90s for much of the Ozarks. Central Missouri will likely be a little typo, spelled little wrong, but
Okay.
it's fine. It's all right. Central Missouri will likely be a little cooler thanks to the morning rain and outflow boundary.
Mhm.
We'll find partly to mostly cloudy skies with winds becoming northeast. I meant not northeast. I meant northwest
It's okay.
by the afternoon. Now it shows most accurate forecast today, and it shows the USA map.
It shows a map of Missouri.
and the entire portion of Missouri is covered in green, indicating rain, right? But that's what it means. Green means rain.
It looks like there is a chance for possible rain through Missouri, but the bottom of Missouri is listed in the temperatures of 104 to 97, while the top of Missouri is listed from 89 to 86. So the lower in Missouri that you are, the higher the temperature is likely to be, as it looks to be that the north of Missouri is more likely to have this rain that we've been talking about.
A leftover boundary for the storms this morning will find its way into southern Missouri later today. Additionally, a weak cold front will be dropping in from the north. Scattered rain and thunderstorms are most likely for areas southeast of I-44 and east of Highway 65, with more widely scattered rain back to the west. How do I explain split photos?
So there is a double panel.
Okay.
The north half being listed or being colored in rain for the first panel, and it shows that rain moving downward south, with the rain becoming less severe and more medium.
as there are different shades of green indicating rain speed, right? It shows for Wednesday morning and Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday morning shows
What we just described with it being in the northern half of Missouri, more likely to rain, and Wednesday afternoon with it moving downward south.
right, I'm just making sure what you said was there. All right. Yeah, a few storms may become strong to severe. The primary hazard for any storm that develops later today will be for damaging wind gusts of 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. Given the boundaries, there will also be a low tornado risk. Now there's a triple panel showing tornado risk, wind risk, and hail risk. For a tornado risk, it says very low. For the wind risk, it says 60 miles, and hail risk says quarters. So,
all of these outlines are within the eastern half of Missouri.
And they're all described as what I said earlier, with the quarter-sized hail and everything. There's also another picture next to the triple panel, and it shows a storm risk. Most of Missouri is in the green, and half of it is in the yellow.
So the majority of Missouri is marked for marginal or minimal storm with rain likely to happen. And the eastern part of Missouri, as described above in the three panels outlining tornado, wind, and hail risk, is marked in yellow, saying that this is more likely to have a more severe storm.
It also says today after 4 p.m., wind gusts to 60 miles per hour and a low spin-up risk. Rain may linger southeast of I-44 into early Thursday morning, but will exit fairly early. Skies will clear on Thursday to become mostly sunny, and temperatures will rise to around 90 degrees. Now the last two pictures show most accurate forecast for tomorrow and Friday. For tomorrow, it shows Missouri, and it shows the majority of Missouri with the weather being would that be partly cloudy or partly sunny?
So it is mostly sunny with temperatures from high 80 to low 90. There's not many indicators of it being cloudy.
Because for tomorrow and Friday, it's
tomorrow, as I said, from high 80 to low 90, and on Friday, I believe this is marked for today, where this is, the tomorrow they're referring to is today, and the Friday is tomorrow, apologies for the confusion, is the low 90s, and yes, tomorrow, Friday is marked for the low 90s, with the lowest being 89, but the highest being 94.
This weekend will be hot and sunny with highs in the low 90s and lows around 70. Skies will be partly cloudy, and a few spotty showers are possible from Saturday through early next week.
Today, August 20th, has a number of things for today. So we're going to start out with National Bacon Lovers Day. It celebrates cured pork belly, the most versatile cut in the American breakfast, now starring in everything from chocolate bars to cocktails, whose production method was developed in China approximately 3,000 years ago. It's also National Radio Day, when WWJ in Detroit, Michigan became the world's first commercially licensed radio station, an event that launched the broadcast media industry and preceded the internet as the most transformative communications technology of the 20th century. It's also World Mosquito Day, when British Dr. Ronald Ross proved that the Anopheles mosquito carried malaria, a Nobel Prize-winning discovery that remains the foundation of malaria prevention and has saved hundreds of millions of lives. It's also St. Stephen's Day in Hungary, and it's their national holiday, marking August 20th, 1000 CE, when the Pope crowned Stephen I as the first king of Hungary, founding the Christian Hungarian state. Cured pork, a 1920 radio signal, a mosquito revelation, and a medieval coronation. Also of note, it's also National Chocolate Pecan Pie Day.
Hmm. Huh. Next article from Springfield Daily Citizen. Restore your smile with personalized dental care from Absolute Dental Care. And this is sponsored by Absolute Dental Care. There's a picture of 5 people standing in front of the camera, and they're all wearing black uniforms. Well, they're not all wearing black shoes. One of them is wearing gray shoes, but yeah, they're all wearing black matching outfits, and they're all doing their not hand gestures, but
So there are 5 people standing in front of the camera, with the center being Dr. Anderson, and the 4 people surrounding him being the Absolute Dental team in Nixa, Missouri. They're wearing their uniforms that have the Absolute Dental Care logo on the left breast pocket.
oh, it says Absolute on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the O, I believe, is supposed to represent a tooth.
Yes, the O is a tooth.
That's clever. Welcome to Absolute Dental Care. Dr. Todd Anderson and his experienced team are here to help you achieve and maintain
Optimal.
optimal and a beautiful smile for life. Absolute Dental Care provides comprehensive dental care for Nixa, Springfield, and the surrounding area to meet your needs and help you enjoy all the benefits of a healthy smile. There's a picture of a woman with red hair, and she's smiling at the camera in a double panel photograph. It shows a before and after image of her. The before image shows her smiling at the camera, and it shows her teeth looking all crooked and not very.
So she's smiling at the camera, and her smile is not as wide as the second photo. The teeth are slightly yellowed, and they look to be like there is lower gums in her mouth. We're on the second panel. She has whiter teeth, and it looks like they have been able to assist her with balancing her gums and her teeth.
Kind of like mine.
Yeah. All right, would you like to keep reading?
Yeah. But yeah, they look a lot cleaner. Anderson has been practicing dentistry for more than 29 years. And has proudly called the Ozarks his home for over 21 years. Born and raised in North Dakota, he was a loyal Kansas City Chiefs fan growing up in Vikings country. After graduating from dental school and practicing near his hometown for 7 years, he decided it was time for a change. Following 2 straight weeks of negative 20-degree weather, he knew it was time to head south. He searched communities across the country before finding exactly what he was looking for in Nixa, a place he is grateful to call home. Whoops.
So remember me to scroll. Okay. At Absolute Dental Care, Anderson and his team understand that every patient has a unique reason for seeking dental care. For some, it's restoring confidence in their smile. For others, it's relieving pain, improving function, or overcoming years of dental anxiety. Whatever brings you through their doors, the team takes the time to listen, understand your goals, and recommend the treatment that is truly in your best interest. Their commitment is to provide compassionate, personalized care that help every patient achieve a healthy smile and a lasting confidence.
You have options. When it's time to restore lost function due to missing teeth or get your smile back after years of neglect, a single solution office might not be in your best interest. A free consultation with a 3D X-ray will determine if implants are an option. The team at Absolute Dental Care will work with you to tailor your plan according to your desires.
So there's a
Ow.
photo describing that someone registered dental hygienist who works with Absolute Dental Care. Her name is Heaven, working
Ooh.
with a patient. She is wearing blue scrubs as well as an attached microscope to her glasses and a mask as she leans over someone's mouth to work with them. Behind her is the office of is her dentistry office.
And the outfit says her name on the side with the words dental hygienist on the bottom, and the same Absolute Dental Care logo is in the corner.
Her name's on her right pocket and the logo is on the left.
This is my right.
It's okay.
Yeah, I get confused with perspective sometimes.
It's okay. Let's keep reading.
The goal of what's that word?
Restorative dentistry
Is to help you retain your oral health and function, especially when it comes to your natural teeth. Retaining your original teeth is almost always better for your long-term oral health and function. If you are receiving care to replace one or more missing teeth, you mean tooth?
one or more missing teeth,
Okay, your
restorative plan
will be designed to restore your teeth's appearance and function while promoting the best possible long-term results. There's a quote that is from Kayla Delling, and she's from Springfield. She says, "I was so excited to go here, and I was even more excited at how comfortable I felt being there. They listened to what I wanted and set me up a treatment plan that isn't just perfectly fitted to me, but affordable to me as well. Definitely recommend." Our
restorative
dental services, and this one,
there's a heading that says our restorative dental services, and below it says our restorative treatment options include.
oh, because I read that last part like a question.
It's okay, let's keep
They have dental bridges, dental fillings, dental implants, dentures,
porcelain dental crowns,
root canal therapy, and snap-on dentures. Curious about dental implants? If you have lost a tooth, you are a candidate. Candidate?
Yep, you said it.
Okay, for implant dentistry.
Yep.
Anderson will assist you on this journey. The dental team will sit down with you and explain the entire process. Depending on your needs, your implant your implant restoration could be a single crown, an implant, retained denture, or fixed full arch implants. Your
Restoration
will be carefully designed to fit your smile perfectly and provide you with beautiful and long-lasting results. Dental implants provide a final result that looks, feels, and functions just like your natural teeth while offering a restoration designed to permanently replace missing teeth, built to last a lifetime with proper care. Dental implants promote long-term oral health and function without damaging
adjacent teeth.
like teeth that are still there.
I can tell you after. How about we keep going?
Okay. They improve speech, chewing, eating, and overall comfort while providing a highly stable, cost-effective, long-term solution. Best of all, they can restore your self-esteem and confidence, helping you smile, eat, live with greater ease every day. Questions about dentures? Living with missing teeth can affect more than just your oral health. It can influence your self-esteem, your ability to chew and speak, and even your facial appearance. There's a picture of Dr. Anderson and his dental assistant, Julie. They're both looking at the camera with masks on. They have their Absolute Dental Care outfits on with built-in goggles on their heads.
So they have the microscopes used for dental work sat over their foreheads.
Yeah, and they seem to be in an office.
They're in their dentistry office. Yes, that is the background. Our approach to dental care is patient-focused, and we prioritize comfort, fit, and longevity. Your custom dentures from Absolute Dental Care also support greater comfort and function, giving you an oral appliance that feels like a natural extension of your smile. You'll enjoy a more efficient process, superior craftsmanship, and a result that looks and feels right for you. We also have an in-house denture lab with Tara, our resident denture artist.
Here are the benefits of choosing our denture. Benefits of choosing our dentures include improved ability to speak clearly and chew comfortably, boosted confidence through a complete natural looking smile, custom craftsmanship tailored to your facial features, strong materials for long-term function and wear, convenient options such as partial, full and implant supported dentures, and quicker adjustments and repairs with in-house lab access. There's a picture of denture technician Tara working on the Insight Denture Lab as she's building.
Tara is sitting at her desk with a various amount of tools that are partially out of focus in the background. As she is working on molding a set of dentures for a possible client.
Absolute Dental also specializes in cosmetic dentistry. Sorry. Cosmetic dentistry focuses on enhancing the appearance of your smile while improving its overall balance and harmony. Anderson offers a variety of cosmetic and
restorative
treatments to correct concerns such as gaps between teeth, cracked, chipped, fractured, or broken teeth,
discoloration,
or staining, misaligned or uneven teeth, missing teeth, excessive wear, misshapen teeth, teeth that appear too long, too short, or too pointed, or too short or too pointed. Anyway, with personalized treatment, you can achieve a healthier, more attractive smile that looks and feels natural. Our cosmetic dental services include dental bonding, dental
veneers,
Invisalign, and teeth whitening. Benefits of here are some
benefits of cosmetic dentistry.
Dental treatment can dramatically improve the appearance of your smile while enhancing overall facial harmony. Beyond aesthetics, it can restore proper function, improve your oral health, and make everyday activities like eating and speaking more comfortable. These benefits can often lead to greater confidence and contribute to an improved sense of overall health and well-being. Absolute Dental Care offers other services as well. These include dental cleanings and exams, emergency dental care, night guards, sedation dentistry, and tooth extractions. If you are ready today or simply just have a question, Anderson and his team are ready to assist you through the process from start
to your beautiful smile.
I thought I was going to say from start to finish.
It's okay.
Again, this is Absolute Dental Care. Their address is 1881 North State Highway, CC Nixa, Missouri 65714. Or you can call them at 417-725-4746.
Ow.
This is from the Springfield News Leader. It is the impact of Road to Housing Act in the Midwest is a wait and see. It is by Thomas B. Langhorne, originally for the Evansville Courier and Press. The political appeal of the idea slap restrictions on institutional investors who buy up single-family homes to make more housing stock for regular folk who want to actually live in them is plain to see. Both houses of Congress endorsed it by overwhelming margins. But when the complex 139-page 21st Century Road to Housing Act may make a big splash in coastal states with high costs and housing shortages, New York, California, and a few others, its effect in Midwestern housing markets likely will be more nuanced. While the Act emphasizes zoning reform, streamlined permitting, and incentives for housing production, many Midwestern states already have relatively lower housing costs, less restrictive land use regulations, more developable land, and a slower rate of population growth, said Roberto Cercia, a professor of housing and community development at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Consequently, provisions designed to stimulate new housing supply may produce smaller effects in states such as Indiana, Iowa, and much of Ohio and Michigan than they would in places like California, Massachusetts, or New York, where regulatory barriers and land scarcity are major constraints on housing production. Where the Road to Housing Act may make a big impact in Midwestern states, Cercia said, it is with reforms intended to expand small dollar mortgage lending, generally defined as mortgages with balances of $100,000 or less. Existing lending regulations often make such mortgages unprofitable for lenders. The Act addresses this issue through an HUD, which is the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development pilot program, a review of CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, regulations that discourage small balance lending, and measures intended to improve lender participation in lower value markets, said Cercia, co-author of 2 books on low-income home ownership in America. Such reforms could be especially impactful in rural communities and older industrial cities such as Flint, Michigan, and Gary, Indiana, Cercia said. In such places, lack of access to mortgage credit is a bigger housing challenge than any shortage of housing units. It's excruciatingly difficult to get people to actually purchase housing in Gary, said Antonio Escareno, a real estate agent who does most of his business in the Chicago metropolitan area. Once a bustling city and hub of the steel industry, Gary suffered urban decay, population loss, high crime rates, and poverty after the steel industry's collapse decades ago. It is now home to thousands of abandoned buildings that haven't drawn much interest from institutional investors because of their low market value and high risk factors. But that doesn't mean potential homebuyers couldn't come to see things differently, as Carreno said. The veteran realtor is still stinging from the outcome of a listing he had in Gary in June. That house was priced really well. It should have sold, he said. The mortgage on that house would have been $1,250 a month, and the house was immaculate. Everyone wanted to rent it for $1,500, $1,600. Ultimately, it ended up renting, but no one stepped up to the plate to buy it at $1,250. In Flint, Dion Oliver, branch manager for USA Mortgage, thinks the HUD pilot program could help. The pilot is intended to expand access to small dollar mortgages under $100,000 backed by the Federal Housing Administration. It can, among other things, direct payments to lenders to incentivize origination of small dollar mortgages. It can also provide direct grants for mortgagors who obtain small dollar mortgages to cover costs. The program sunsets after 4 years. Oliver doesn't shy away from originating small dollar loans, she said. To help people, she said, and because small dollar happy customers may turn into larger dollar happy customers someday. The way that the housing market is rising in values, it's hard, especially in the city of Flint, Oliver said. There's still so many rundown areas, abandoned houses. There's another change buried in the Road to Housing Act. Excuse me, I skipped a paragraph. There's multiple things that are difficult with financing in the city of Flint. It's not just that lenders aren't making money. However, there are a boatload of lenders that I could tell you in my area that will not do a loan under $100,000, will not do a loan under $50,000. There's another change buried in the Road to Housing Act that some believe will improve housing access in the Midwestern states. The act removes the federal requirement that all manufactured homes be built on a permanent steel chassis. That change alone could lop $5,000 to $10,000 off the price of a factory-built home, according to a recent email from USA Mortgage to clients. Some have argued the chassis requirement a significant barrier to manufactured housing, generally one of the most affordable paths to homeownership. The National Low Income Housing Coalition supported a measure to drop the requirement last year, citing the importance of manufactured homes as a source of affordable housing in rural areas. In removing the requirement for a permanent chassis on manufactured homes, the bill from 2025 would further reduce costs and expand design and location possibilities for manufactured housing. The Housing Coalition wrote, "Our nation is facing a housing supply shortage for both renters and homeowners with the lowest incomes, and this common sense reform is an important piece of addressing this crisis." There's also another factor to consider: how Trump's tariff policies will impact home construction. Copper, steel, and lumber are all affected by tariffs. A Michigan State Housing Development Authority analysis found that tariff pressures will result in 350 to 400 fewer affordable housing units being produced in the previous fiscal year of the state. Copper is up 25% year over year, and steel is up 21%, while construction material commodity prices have risen 49% since 2019, according to the study. Certainly, small builders are not as equipped to take economic hits like that as some of their larger counterparts. No builder can afford to absorb more costs. James Briha, a resident of Creve Coeur, Illinois, doesn't have a hard and fast plan for the new home he wants to buy just yet. Briha hasn't been looking for long, but he thinks it's high time the little guy got some help. Briha, 41, is looking to move with his fiancée to a small town on the west side of Indianapolis, perhaps Rockingham or Greencastle, Indiana. He is a home energy advisor and a fledgling writer, and $150,000 is about as high as he wants to go. Briha doesn't have $150,000 lying around, but he's cautious. He says the Road to Housing Act's promising changes sound good to him in theory. He believes institutional investors shouldn't go unchallenged. "I've read about private equity and stuff, buying just to sit on homes empty," Briha says. "It feels like the artificial inflation of housing price." USA Mortgage's email to clients about the Road to Housing Act struck a note of cautious optimism. "It's early. Most analysts expect the benefits to build gradually rather than overnight, but the direction is encouraging if you felt boxed out of the market," the message stated. Quercia also thinks it'll take time for the bill's new impacts to shake out, not only nationally, but in various ways throughout the Midwest. "It's a mixed bag," he said. Overall, Minnesota, Illinois, Ohio, Wisconsin, and metropolitan regions of Michigan may experience the strongest impacts because they combined growing housing demand with aging housing inventories and some regulatory constraints, Quercia says. In contrast, states such as Indiana, Iowa, and Missouri are likely to benefit most through improvements in mortgage access, manufactured housing finance, and housing rehabilitation rather than through dramatic increases in new housing construction. If implemented energetically and with belief, Quercia said, the reforms in the Road to Housing Act could expand homeownership opportunities and trigger reinvestment in neighborhoods and rural communities and in older industrial cities in the Midwest. That is part of the wait and see. If implementation is limited, the effects may be modest and largely symbolic, Quercia said.
You can read the title.
From the Springfield Daily Citizen, schools police focus on safety for pedestrians, school buses. Officers will watch for stop, arm violations, and speeding in school zones through August and September. Article by Joe Hadsall. The article starts with a photo of the front of a school bus that is facing the camera.
Seen during a 2023 evening traffic. It's on evening traffic or
during evening traffic on National Avenue.
Right.
Photo by Shannon K.
2023, huh? And anticipation of a new school year,
Springfield's public school district,
and law enforcement agencies are emphasizing driver safety as school buses and walkers return to the roads. The first day of school is Tuesday, August 25th. So 5 more days. Nice. Springfield Public Schools has partnered with the Springfield Police Department and Greene County Sheriff's Office to raise awareness about watching for pedestrians and driving safely around school buses. Throughout August and September, officers with SPD's traffic unit will focus on watching for nonstop arm. Why did I say nonstop?
It's okay.
Will focus on watching for stop arm violations and speeding in school zones. Additionally, the agencies have produced a campaign of public service announcements that will appear on social media and more. Drivers are not allowed to pass a school bus when the stop arm is extended and its lights are flashing. This is a shared responsibility, said Jim Farrell, SPS Chief of School Police, in a press release. Whether you're a parent, a student, or a driver passing through a school zone, your choices make a difference your choices make a difference in keeping children safe. SPS is the second year of a 3-year expansion of its transportation services. The ultimate goal of the plan is to offer busing to more students in middle schools and magnet schools.
During the second year, more students will be able to get a ride to and from SPS choice programs such as Academy of Exploration, Wolf Ag Academy, and more.
SPS has contracted with EverDriven to pick up students in more remote and rural areas in order to make its school bus routes more efficient and streamlined. The department operates 104 buses with drivers who handle 3 tiers of arrival and departure times. Tier number 1 starts at 7:20 a.m. and ends at 2 p.m. Tier number 2 starts at 8:10 a.m. and ends at 3:10 p.m. And tier number 3 starts at 9 a.m. and ends at 4 p.m.
From the Springfield News Leader, Springfield History Archives gain new home at Meyer Library. From Janice Reeser. Springfield's historical records will gain a new permanent home through a partnership between the Historical Museum on the Square and Missouri State University that expands public access to local archives. The History Museum on the Square has transferred possession of its archival collection to Missouri State University's Dwayne G. Meyer Library, Special Collections and Archives, according to a community announcement. The collection will be preserved, housed, and made available to researchers through the university's archival facilities. The transfer includes historical photographs, manuscripts, documents, correspondence, and other media-based materials related to the history of Springfield and Greene County. On the left, there is a picture of shelves in a storeroom. Each spot on all of the shelves in the picture is full of boxes. The partnership strengthens our ability to fulfill our mission of preserving and sharing our community's history, Sean Fitzgibbons, Executive Director of the History Museum on the Square, said in the announcement. By placing our archives in the care of Missouri State University's Special Collections and Archives, we're ensuring these materials continue to receive the highest level of professional preservation while making them more accessible than ever to students, researchers, educators, and the public. The organization said in the announcement that the agreement builds on a long-standing relationship between the museum and the university. Museum officials said that relocating the materials to Meyer Library will allow researchers to use the collection alongside other historical resources already maintained by the university. Meyer Library is honored to receive this vitally important collection documenting Springfield history. Our past, present, and future relationship with the History Museum on the Square made this possible. The History Museum on the Square has had connections with members of our library team over the years, and some have served as museum volunteers, Dave Richards, Dean of Library Services, said in the announcement. With this transfer, we are preserving and providing access to our community's history. It is another example of how Missouri State manifests its public affairs mission. The History Museum on the Square will continue collecting and displaying three-dimensional artifacts while developing exhibits and educational programs based on the community's history. According to the announcement, the arrangement allows the museum to devote additional resources to exhibitions, educational programming, and public engagement while continuing to maintain and expand its artifact collections. More information is available at historymuseumonthesquare.org, and questions can be directed to Sean Fitzgibbons at Sean, which is spelled S-E-A-N, at historymuseumonthesquare.org.
Ow. From the Springfield News Leader, Missouri Education Board wary of $300 million school funding increase. Is that the right way to say it?
Yep.
This is by Annalise Hanshaw.
Hanshaw.
Who?
Missouri education officials are preparing to ask lawmakers for roughly $300 million more for public schools next year, setting up a potentially difficult budget fight as the state faces a projected revenue shortfall. The numbers are yet to be finalized, but the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education's preliminary report showed the recent changes to state law have driven up the cost of Missouri's public school funding formula by $110 million in fiscal year 2028. That comes on top of weekly $190 million that the formula called for this year, but lawmakers did not fully fund with general revenue. Because lawmakers also used about $100 million from other sources to cover part of to cover part of this year's school funding, the department could have to seek nearly $400 million more in general revenue next year to fully fund the formula. The article is broken up by a picture of Missouri State Board of Education President Brooks Miller standing on the far right as he welcomes Park Hill High School math teacher Michael McDonald and former St. Louis Mayor Vince Schoemel to the board on Tuesday, August 18th, 2026. The three men are standing at the epicenter of the photo, with the back of the room being listed with Missouri Department of Elementary Education. They are standing in front of a table that has 3 chairs, as well as another man out of focus, microphones facing all of these chairs, water bottles in front of each spot, and laptops facing each spot. They all seem to be preparing to speak at this conference. This photo was provided by Annalise Hanshaw. You want to say?
Which one do you want?
Right here.
The increases are largely
Dictated.
by Missouri's school funding formula, which lawmakers created 2 decades ago and began reworking in 2024. The figures started the State Board of Education during its meeting Thursday, August 18th.
Tuesday, August 18th.
What did I say?
It's okay, let's keep going.
Board member Mike
Matusk.
from Kansas City said he worried about the optics of asking for money lawmakers refused to appropriate last year and an additional $110 million. This board and the department have a credibility issue with the state lawmakers on the budget stuff, he said. He said, it's hard for me to support a $400 million increase. That is not a single person in this room thinks we are going to get.
It is hard for me to support a $400 million increase that not a single person in this room thinks we are going to get.
Okay, why was I reading as?
It's okay, let's keep reading.
Last year, the formula calculated a $190 million increase, and lawmakers choose not to fund it. They keep funding flat, tapping into funds, and like the blind pension.
Tapping into funds like the Blind Pension Fund.
for $100 million of the formula call. Because this money wasn't funded enough
Funded through general revenue.
That's what I said, funded. Sorry. The department must ask again for it as a new decision item, even if it isn't new. A new decision item, even if it isn't new.
Yep.
We do realize this is a very large request, especially in this budget year, and we understand there will be questions there will be questions about the likelihood whether that all comes to pass. The department's deputy commissioner of financial and
Administrative.
services, Kyle Cruz, right?
Mhm.
Told the board. But there is also the viewpoint that the
Legislature.
has spoken in terms of how they choose to fund schools.
The increase is coming from changes included in Education Omnibus Bill passed in 2024, including a shift in the way the formula counts students away from purely attendance-based funding to split between attendance and enrollment numbers. This has been slowly phased in, with each year shifting 10% towards enrollment and driving the cost of formula up to $40 million annually since fiscal year 2026.
The 2024 law also gave
An incentive
for districts to keep a 5-day school week as a growing number of Missouri schools switched to a 4-day week. For the past 2 years, districts with at least 169 school days have received a 1% funding boost, which will jump to 2% in fiscal year
in fiscal year 2028 at a cost around $66 million. These increases come as the state predicts a general revenue shortfall. The budget instructions published by the Office of Administration earlier this month warn against excess spending. Despite efforts to curtail government spending, the state faces a projected shortfall of more than $500 million in fiscal year 2028. Dan Hall, the recently retired state budget director, wrote in the opening letter. Ongoing general revenue spending authorized in the fiscal year 2027 budget is projected to outpace ongoing revenues by more than more than $1 billion and grow larger in future years. The document instructs departments to only ask for mandatory items. Cruz said this could be interpreted in different ways, but that he sees it as a narrow gate. Members of the state board had discussed ideas for budget requests, and the board's finance committee chair, Carrie Casey, sent those for consideration. They include initiatives like a $10 million grant program for struggling schools and an award program to celebrate academic excellence at a cost of $50,000. A number of these items, Cruz said, won't make it through that gate. The board seemed hesitant to pursue these ideas under the budget crunch ahead, and there was some discussion of what authority the board had to pursue further cuts. Board member Vince Schoemel, who was sworn in as a new board member at the beginning of the August 18th meeting, questioned the long-standing practice of adopting the current budget as the basis of next year's request. Schoemel, who was the mayor of St. Louis from 1981 to 1993, said he worked with a base zero budget. You start off assuming nothing goes from this year to the next year, he said. Everything has to be justified. Other items the department anticipates including in the budget request include a 3% increase in funding for student transportation and just over $7 million to implement Gov. Mike Kehoe's executive order calling for A to F grades cards for public schools. The department anticipates releasing a draft of the grade cards this fall using data from the 2024-2025 school year, as it works towards creating a report with last school year's test scores. It has not received any funding for the current fiscal year for this to work, so it is asking for $518,000 in supplemental budget request. Carrying out the plan next fiscal year is estimated to cost just over $6.5 million, Cruz said, including additional department staff. The board plans to hold a second meeting this month in order to further discuss the budget under the tight time constraints. In recent years, the board has not taken such a detailed role in developing DESE's budget, but with many members relatively new to the board, they have sought greater involvement in shaping this year's request. And that is the end of that article.
From the Springfield News Leader, Why Medications Could Be Making You Feel the Summer Heat Even More. This is by Susan Zuch. After an extreme heat warning and scorching temperatures this past week, the Ozarks are anticipated to cool down, just a little. According to the National Weather Service's Springfield office, we'll likely continue to see weather that feels like it's in the high 90s and low hundreds on August 17th and 18th. Dr. Barbara Bunbury, who practices family medicine at Mercy, spoke with the news leader about how certain medications can make people feel more susceptible to heat and which medications can be affected by high temperatures. The main thing is just awareness of being on medications that put you at increased risk of being affected by heat, Bunbury said, and just taking extra precautions if you're going to be out in the heat. Here's what to know about what medications may make it harder for your body to stay cool, what to do, and how to make sure your medications are safe in the high heat. There are a number of medications that make it more difficult to tolerate heat. Here are some of the common ones. Heart medications like blood thinners or beta blockers, stimulants like Adderall or Ritalin, anticholinergics, laxatives, diuretics, blood pressure medications like ACE inhibitors, psychiatric medications like antidepressants or antipsychotics, allergy medication like antihistamines and decongestants. There are a few different ways that your body deals with heat and tries to maintain its internal temperature. Perspiration or sweating cools the body when the sweat evaporates. Your body also dilates blood vessels under the skin, which allows warm blood to flow through those vessels and release its heat through the skin. Some medications encourage water loss, which can make dehydration more dangerous, while others affect the body's ability to sweat, the body's temperature, and blood vessel dilation. If somebody gets dehydrated, it can also decrease the body's ability to clear certain medications, so it can cause toxicities or increased levels of those medications, which can be harmful, such as blood thinners or lithium, medications that are not uncommon for people to be taking, Bunbury said. If medication affects the body's temperature or ability to cool down while the ambient heat is high outside or in their home, Bunbury said, it can lead to heat stroke, which can be life-threatening. First and foremost, Bunbury encourages people to know what medications they're taking and the risks associated with them. Even if heat climbs, you shouldn't abruptly stop taking medications. You can maybe go off an antihistamine for a few days while it's hot, but something like a blood thinner or blood pressure medicine, you don't just stop those. Bunbury said, if you're concerned, talk with a doctor, who may prescribe a lower dose or change the medication you're taking. In addition to that, Bunbury recommends taking extra precautions. Limit time outdoors during the hottest parts of the day. If you're working outdoors, take breaks inside to cool down and drink fluids. Spend time at places with air conditioning, like cooling centers, the library, or the mall. Set up fans in your house. They won't help with air temperature, but they can help sweat evaporate and cool bodies down. Drink plenty of fluids and water. Add some electrolyte solution to 1 or 2 bottles of water if you're sweating a lot, since sweating depletes the body of electrolytes. Avoid caffeinated beverages like coffee, tea, soda, and certain energy drinks, since they have a diuretic effect and cause you to lose fluid. In order to stay safe in the heat, Bunbury encouraged people to be able to recognize heat-related illness symptoms. Those can include muscle cramps, confusion, headache, dizziness, heavy sweating, nausea or vomiting, paleness, loss of consciousness. If you start experiencing something like that, you need to get to a cooler environment right away, Bunbury said. Additionally, heat stroke is a potentially deadly heat-related illness which occurs when the body's temperature is at or above 104 degrees. Symptoms include high body temperature, red, hot, or dry skin, rapid pulse, throbbing headache, dizziness, nausea, confusion, or unconsciousness. Call 911 immediately if someone exhibits those symptoms. Certain medications can be affected by heat and humidity, either by damaging the packaging or how well the medication itself works. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, inhalers for those with asthma or COPD can burst if left in hot environments, like car trunks on hot days, and heat can cause EpiPens to malfunction or deliver less epinephrine during an allergic reaction. Prolonged exposure to heat can make insulin and other medications like that less effective. Most medications should be kept in a location that's room temperature or cooler and dry in order to preserve potency. An article by the Baylor College of Medicine advises people not to take medication if it has changed color, texture, or odor after being exposed to heat, even if it has not expired.
We are broadcasting live from the Bloom Community, Blind Community Thrift Store in Springfield, Missouri, located at 2713 North Kansas Expressway. Find amazing deals Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Help the blind, help the community. You want me to start or?
Keep going.
Oh, we. From the Springfield News Leader. Let me pull the microphone in closer. From the Springfield News Leader. From Janice.
How about you read the title?
I was going to. Missouri campaign aims to help prevent teen substance use.
You're okay. Keep
And
going.
it's from Janice.
Janice Reeser.
Okay. A statewide campaign aimed at preventing youth substance use will be promoted across Missouri during the final weeks, the 2 final weeks of August, with several Southeast Missouri prevention. What is this word?
Coalitions.
Participating in local outreach efforts. The effort, Be Under Your Own Influence, is led by the Missouri Prevention
Coalitions.
Network and focuses on preventing youth use of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, as well as misuse of prescription medications, according to a community announcement. Participating organizations include the Southwest Missouri Drug Poisoning Coalition, the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Prevention Team, and the Stone County Community Health Coalition, which will support the campaign through local community networks and social media channels. Hang on.
Campaign focuses on protective factors.
Where? Okay. For protective factors? Okay. Rather than centering its message on the dangers of substance use alone, the campaign uses a positive youth development approach based on prevention principles identified by the National Institute on Did I say that right?
Yeah.
On drug abuse. According to the announcement, campaign messages highlight factors that can help lower the likelihood of youth substance use, including strong family and community support, decision making and problem solving skills, self management, health, social connections, and community norms.
Yep.
That encourage positive behavior. Ooh, nice. The campaign also addresses risk factors associated with substance use and other negative outcomes.
Those factors may include feelings of hopelessness, impulsive or aggressive behavior, and limited social connectedness, according to the announcement. Organizers said in the announcement that strengthening protective factors at the individual, family, and community levels can help create conditions that support healthy development for young people. Statewide outreach planned in August.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Missouri residents may see posters, billboards, and social media messages related to the campaign during the final 2 weeks of August. Advertisements will also spotlight positive
Spot Advertisers will also spotlight positive contributions.
okay, contributions. I know that word. Just
Okay.
made by young people in schools and communities, reinforcing the campaign's message that youth can make choices aligned with their goals, interests, and values. Local prevention coalitions are expected to expand the campaign's reach by sharing messages through not through the through their own communication channels and community partnerships. Prevention is about more than telling young people what not to do. How do I pronounce that name?
Marietta Hagen
A local
Coalition.
member said in the announcement. She continues saying, it is about helping young people develop the skills, relationships, confidence, and support they need to make healthy choices. And when communities invest in those protective factors, we create stronger environments where youth can succeed. Organizers encourage parents, caregivers, educators, and other adults to support young people through positive communication, meaningful relationships, clear expectations, and opportunities to participate in healthy activities. Additional information about the Missouri Prevention Coalitions Network is available at this website, MissouriPrevention.com.
From the Springfield News Leader, Springfield economy sees continued growth, needs housing investment by Marta Mietze. Southwest Missouri has a strong economy, experiencing growth beyond the state and national averages, but that does not mean it's without its challenges. On Wednesday, August 19th, the Springfield Business Development Corporation hosted its Economic Outlook event, where economist Charles Gascon, Assistant Vice President at the Federal Bank of St. Louis, shared the current state of the economy and what's expected in the future. Overall, he said the economy has remained resilient despite uncertainties and inflation, largely as a result of large investments into artificial intelligence. Incorporation of AI into the workforce also means the economy can continue to grow, even when the labor force is shrinking due to an aging population and more stringent immigration policies, and unemployment remains stable. Beneath that is a picture of four people sitting on a long couch. There is a green backdrop behind them. One is holding a microphone. Actually, two are holding a microphone. And they are having a panel discussion on stage. The economy continues to grow. Springfield saw an average of 3% year-over-year growth in its gross domestic product, outperforming averages for the state and nation as a whole. While the national economy also saw growth, Gascon noted average rates mask more regional and local trends of smaller economies that are contracting in some parts of the country. He said this growth was largely due to the fact that income growth has slowed, yet consumption growth has remained stable. However, because of the higher prices of goods, there have been changes to the portion of consumption going to discretionary versus non-discretionary spending. If you look at the share of people's spending that is going to non-discretionary items versus going out to eat or going on a vacation in 2025, about 75% of spending was non-discretionary spending, Gascon said. The underlying trend over the last couple of years, even if I go back further, is a greater and greater share of households' budgets going to these non-discretionary purchases. He also highlighted that higher income households also drive the aggregate spending trends, as their consumption habits are less impacted by inflation. Compared to 5 years ago, Gascon said prices have gone up roughly 20%, with wages increasing about the same amount during that period. That means the real wage growth has remained unchanged since 2021. These compounding gains in the inflation rate have heavily eroded people's incomes and have led to basically no improvements in people's standard of living over the last 5 years, he said. Beneath this is a graph. It is for measuring affordability, average prices, and wages by percent from 2021. On one side of the graph, it goes up from 0, 5, 10, 15, 20 to 25%. And on the horizontal part of the graph, it goes from January 21st to January 26th. The top line in the graph is the darkest blue. It is the chain price index. It is steadily rising from the 0, steadily rising to January 26th. Alongside it is the line for average hourly earnings. And on the bottom of the graph, hovering around the 0 mark, is the real average hourly earnings. And it pretty much stays consistent along the bottom of the graph. This has also been true between workers who switch jobs versus those who remain at the same employer. He said wage increases are the same between the two groups, which is a good indicator of the workforce. When this thing inverts and goes in the opposite direction, that means people are getting laid off and taking jobs out of necessity, and they may actually be taking pay cuts as a result of that, Gascon said. It does suggest that we have a pretty healthy labor market, and people who are out looking for jobs are finding, if they have the right skills, that they have great opportunities. Hiring has slowed down, but because the labor force is also slowing in growth, that has meant unemployment rates have remained the same. Inflation remains a central focus of the economy. Goods and energy prices are the driving force between the higher inflation due to tariffs policies and war in the Middle East. Gascon said even domestically, supply chain issues have also added strain to the market, as reports note trucker shortages. He said the lack of growth in the supply to match the rate of growth and demand remains an issue. The uncertainty in economic policy has also hit a historic high, which poses a challenge in the future outlook. Going all the way back to the 1960s, these are the highest levels of uncertainty that we have had about economic policy in our history, and for many people in their lifetime, Gascon said regarding the COVID-19 pandemic and the start of 2025. If uncertainty diminishes further, that could really be a big boon for growth as we move into 2027. If it spikes further, that could lead to recessionary conditions. The Economist presented that expectations of inflation into the future have risen slightly, largely due to oil prices. Overall, however, financial conditions are looking optimistic for growth in 2027. Underneath that is a graph for real gross domestic product. It is by percentage change from 1 year ago. The vertical column has percentage changes from 0.0 all the way up to 5.0. The horizontal part of the graph has the dates January 23rd through January 26th. A black line changes steadily up and down, around starting at the 2.0 mark and ending at around the 1.5 mark. For Springfield, it starts pretty low around the 0.5 mark and goes up around the 3.5 mark before falling and then raising again before falling again to end at 2.5. And then the Missouri line on the graph starts at around 2.5, goes up a bit, drops quite a bit to about 0.5, and ends at about 1.5 to 2%. Gascon shared that in 2025, business and residential investments diverged, with residential dipping and business investment booming, largely thanks to AI development. For Springfield, residential development is seen as key to the long-term success of the region. Following Gascon's presentation, a panel consisting of Stephanie Hurt, Managing Director with Forvis Mazars Private Client, Ryan Murray, CEO of RB Murray Company, and Shane Calger, President of Arvest Bank in Springfield, shared insights of local economic trends. Murray said that the region has seen strong business investments on large projects, despite shrinking margins as costs of construction rise, which he said points to a confidence in the market. Chamber President Matt Morrow said affordability has been Springfield's competitive advantage for years, but he said recently the Queen City housing cost position is less favorable compared to nearly every other nearby Midwestern community. Morrow noted that it is not yet clear whether this is a one-year anomaly or part of a larger trend. This poses problems as Springfield tries to attract more investment and workers for growing or new companies moving into the area. Calger agreed that the area is in need of additional affordable housing stock to entice workers to move to the region and retain those already here, and ensure wages keep up with rising housing costs. A key part of this is also having the infrastructure that can support more residential development and higher density, he noted. Hurt also highlighted that it has been hard to fill more high-skill vacancies, and Springfield is in need of specifically skilled workforce. She, too, said it was important to retain younger employees who may think of bigger cities as greener pastures.
I wasn't falling asleep, I swear. I'm sorry. I sorry. Springfield Daily Citizen, Springfield Ballet will mark 50 years with 2026 to 27 season. The Nutcracker returns for its 40
It's 41st year. That is a awesome thing to hear.
wow. Springfield Ballet will also stage an original adaptation of Sleeping Beauty. This is by Jeff Kissinger.
Kissinger.
Okay. There's a picture of how many people would this be?
The Springfield Ballet performs the Nutcracker in December 2020 in the Landers Theater while wearing face shields on stage.
I don't see the face shields. Are they hidden?
So I can vaguely see them.
Because I have seen face shields before.
So the caption says that they're wearing face shields, but looking closer, it does not look like any of the dancers are wearing face shields. It does look like several of the dancers are spaced out a little more than usual.
Yeah.
But it is showing a scene from the Nutcracker.
With 10 people in view, and it shows, sorry.
It's okay.
It shows one person in the group being lifted off into the air as she's doing a pose, like an angel pose.
She is posing as they are dancing together. This is from a scene at the start of the ballet where Clara is dancing with a member of her family before she falls asleep.
Wait, this would be Sleeping Beauty then, right? Not Nutcracker?
No, this is the Nutcracker.
I gotta rewatch that movie.
It's okay.
Or book, whatever it is.
It's okay. We don't need to worry about that.
The Springfield Ballet will celebrate 50 years during its 2026 to 27 season with a lineup featuring a longtime tradition and a beloved fairy tale. Each production features more than 100 dancers and provides opportunities for children to share the stage with professional guest artists, learn how to work among dancers of all levels, and watch the development of choreography. Being a part of a Springfield Ballet production gives dancers the opportunity to learn all about the behind-the-scenes work of what brings a show to life besides the choreography. Maria
Velázquez.
We're sorry if we mispronounced the name. Springfield Ballet co-artist director said in a media release. She continues saying, from the lighting, set piece changes, costumes, stage makeup, and props, they are immersed? Yep. In how to work as a team to bring the ballet stories alive for audiences. We have
cultivated
a very special pre-professional production here in the Ozarks. Now, in its 41st year, that sounds weird to say, 41st.
It's okay, let's keep going.
I know. Now, in its 41st year, Springfield's Ballet's The Nutcracker will run December 17th to December 21st at the historic Landers Theater. The show brings the magic of the holidays. The show brings the magic of the holidays to life as audiences join Clara on her enchanting journey through a dreamscape filled with brave toy soldiers, mischievous mice, waltzing flowers, and the dazzling sugar plum fairy. Nice. 8 performances are planned out for the 5-day run of the Nutcracker. These shows annually sell out, so audiences are encouraged to get their tickets early. In May of next year, 2027, Springfield Ballet will present an original adaptation of The Sleeping Beauty, built for the Landers stage and Springfield audiences. 4 performances are scheduled for May 13, 14, and 16. Dancers from across the Ozarks are invited to audition. Dancers ages 5 and older across the Ozarks are invited to audition for Springfield's Ballet 2026 to 27 season. Dancers must be 5 by August 1st of 2026. Auditions for the Nutcracker are August 27th for dancers ages 11 and older on point day.
And older on point.
Oh, ages 11 and older continuing.
Nope.
Like
point is a style of dance. Let's keep going.
Sure, you can explain it to me later. And additionally, August 29th for dancers ages 5 to 10 and older, not on point. Auditions for Sleeping Beauty are January 21st and 23, starting at 2027. All auditions are at the
Creamery Arts Center.
Thank you. More information is available on the Springfield Ballet website. Patreon tickets available now. Season tickets on sale in August.
Patron?
I say it once and I forget how to say it again.
Let's keep going.
Patron.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Patron tickets for Springfield's Ballet 2026 to 27 season are now available.
Patron?
Okay, patron tickets offer priority seating to both the Nutcracker and Sleeping Beauty. Free, but sorry, I thought you said something. It's free downtown parking and a tax deductible donation that helps make it possible for low-income children in the community to attend Springfield Ballet productions free of charge. Season tickets went on sale August 3rd, while single tickets for the Nutcracker are available starting October 5th. Tickets are available through the Springfield Ballet's official and only ticket provider, the Landers Theater. To purchase tickets, visit the box office in person, call 417-869-1334, or visit the Landers Theater website.
This is from the Springfield Daily Citizen. Jury sides with Hamra, partners in multi-million-dollar fraud lawsuit. Originally by Ryan Collins. The picture underneath the headline shows a neatly cut lawn, and behind that is a low one-story brick building surrounded by trees and bushes. There is a green circular logo on one of the sides of the buildings that says HPC. According to the caption, it is for the Hamilton properties. Inside, it houses the companies Hamilton Builders Contracting, Hamilton Corporation, Trinity Housing Development, and Four Corners Development. 4 well-known Springfield business people and members of the Queen City's upper crust spent the first week of June hunkered down in a Greene County courtroom as a horde of lawyers presented arguments in a lawsuit alleging fraud, asking for millions of dollars in damages. After the trial was extended, when both sides realized they would need more time, it would be another 2 months until the 4 prominent Springfieldians heard the jury's verdict. In 2022, Rita Barron, owner of an architectural firm, Barron Designs and Associates LLC, sued business partners Mike Hamra, CEO of Hamra Enterprises, and Ryan and Doug Hamilton, well-known Springfield housing developers. While the petition changed over the course of 4 years, and the claims brought to the jury, Barron alleged that her business partners breached their fiduciary duty to the low-income housing development companies the 4 individuals owned equally, Four Corners Development LLC and Hamilton Builders LLC. In a third claim, Barron alleged fraudulent conduct by an executive, Adam Horton, who held an operating role in both the companies. In turn, the defendants brought counterclaims against Barron, including alleged breach of contract, unjust enrichment, and for equitable contribution. The companies operated in a convoluted yet highly regulated industry, where development companies like Four Corners bid for low-income housing tax credits from state government agencies, and construction companies like Hamilton Builders erect the multi-million-dollar housing projects in multiple states. The lawsuit lasts for over 4 years. The trial before Judge Nathan Taylor in Greene County Circuit Court lasted 9 days, split over a 3-month span. The jury reached its verdict Friday, August 14th, after 2.5 hours of deliberation. On all 6 claims in the verdict, the jury decided with defendants Hamra, Horton, Ryan, and Doug Hamilton, and ultimately awarded a total of nearly $1.3 million in damages. Compensation related to what are surely hefty lawyer fees has not yet been settled. A hearing will be scheduled before the judge enters the final judgment in the case. Hamra, Horton, and the Hamilton brothers were pleased with the jury's verdict and plan to continue building their respective companies, according to a collective statement emailed from their attorney, Kelly Farrell. We are most pleased with the outcome, ready to turn the page, and focused on what matters most, serving people in need of housing, supporting our employees, and moving our business forward, the statement said in part. Barron's attorney, Taylor White of Kutak Rock, said his client plans to continue litigation efforts. We will pursue all available options, including an appeal. At its heart, the lawsuit includes Barron, Hamra, and the Hamilton brothers and the companies the 4 were equal partners in, Four Corners Development and Hamilton Builders. Those companies operated in the low-income housing tax credits industry, which uses awarded government tax credits to fund, develop, and build low-income housing projects. Mike Hamra entered into the LIHTC industry through his father, Sam Hamra, the Springfield business tycoon who died in June 2024. Sam Hamra founded Hamra Enterprises in 1975 and opened its first Wendy's restaurant in Springfield in 1976. The Springfield-based company owns and operates nearly 200 Wendy's, Panera Bread, and Noodles & Company restaurants around the country. It also operates 2 hotels and has developed real estate projects in Missouri, Illinois, Massachusetts, and Texas. Mike Hamra became the CEO of Hamra Enterprises in 2011. Mike Hamra ran for Missouri governor in 2024, showing his influence extends beyond Springfield. In the Democratic primary, Hamra faced off against another Springfield candidate, Crystal Quaid. Hamra garnered about 32% of primary voters, falling short of Quaid's 50%. Beneath that is a photo of Mike Hamra. He is wearing looks like a dark zip-up sweater, and underneath that is a blue-collared shirt. He is holding some papers in his hand, and he has his index finger outstretched as if he is making a point. Facing him is a woman, slightly out of focus, and she seems to be listening to what he has to say. Sam Hamra has a statewide spotlight put on him in 2007 when the Columbia Tribune reported that Hamra wrote a letter to then-Governor Matt Blunt to complain that his housing projects were not getting enough support from the state commission responsible for distributing low-income housing tax credits. In the letter, Hamra reminded Blunt of the funds Hamra had raised for the Republicans' campaign and asked the commission's actions be reversed, according to the Missouri Independent. The incident shows just how involved Sam Hamra and his businesses were in the LIHTC industry. Like Mike Hamra, Ryan and Doug Hamilton got their start in the LIHTC industry through their father, Kenneth Hamilton, who founded Hamilton Properties Corporation in 1968, according to the company website. Kenneth Hamilton and Sam Hamra were business partners on a number of projects. Because their fathers were business associates, Mike Hamra and the Hamilton brothers also entered into business together. Rita Barron started her architecture firm, Barron Design and Associates LLC, in 2003, according to the company website. The architecture firm designs for a diverse array of industries, including medical, financial, government, corporate, restaurants, and senior and family affordable housing. Barron graduated from Drury University's Hammond School of Architecture in 1999 and was elected as a trustee of the university in 2007. Barron Design's portfolio includes a number of Springfield properties like Silverleaf, the Preston, Gardner Capital, and the Hilton Garden Inn. Barron's business empire extends far beyond architecture. She is a partner or owner in multiple companies in multiple industries, with an emphasis on development. She is a franchisee of Marriott International and was previously a franchisee of Einstein Bros Bagels, according to a biography posted to Drury's website. Beneath that is Rita Barron's business, Barron Design. It is a gray building with a lot of small windows on the side. The logo for Barron Design is a vertical sign that starts at the top and reads Barron Design top to bottom. The logo above that is a white square with BDA inside. Around the 2000s, Barron started some architectural design work for Sam Hammer's companies, with a few projects in the LIHTC industry. That meant that Mike Hammer, the Hamilton brothers, and Barron played different roles in developing LIHTC projects, and a business network had been formed. The four individuals broke away from previous entities and formed Four Corners Development as equal partners, all with a 25% stake in company, in 2011. Shortly after, the four started the construction business, Hamilton Builders, with the same four-way split in ownership. Four Corners would be the development company for LIHTC projects, and Hamilton Builders would serve as the general contractor on the projects. From 2011 to early 2020s, Four Corners developed low-income housing projects in multiple states, including Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, and Colorado. Hamilton Builders constructed the majority of projects that Four Corners developed. LIHTC development is a convoluted world, and though it is heavily regulated, the process is complicated. The lawsuit explains the nature of the business relationships in the industry and asks the jury to understand the industry enough to reach a verdict after a 9-day trial split across June and August 2026. The Low-Income Housing Tax Credit, LIHTC, subsidizes the acquisition, construction, and rehabilitation of affordable rental housing for low and moderate income tenants, according to the Tax Policy Center and Urban Institute and Brookings Institution. The program was enacted as part of the 1986 Tax Reform Act. The federal government issues tax credit to state governments, and state housing agencies forward those credits to private developers of affording housing projects. It is a competitive process, but every state has its own system of rules and regulations. In Missouri, the agency responsible for distributing the credits is the Missouri Housing Development Commission. Companies like Four Corners apply for tax credits on a specific project through the state agency responsible for distributing the credits. After a lengthy application process, the project is either declined or awarded an allocated amount of tax credits. Developers like Four Corners then sell those tax credits to finance the housing project. The companies that purchase those tax credits are the investors, and also known as the limited partners in the project. Most investors in the LIHTC projects are corporations that have sufficient income tax liability to fully use non-refundable tax credits, meaning the tax bills of those companies are big enough each year to fully use the credits, according to the Tax Policy Center. Investors take a backseat, hands-off position on the project, buying tax credits that come to fruition at different points in the project's decade-plus life cycle. Companies like Four Corners make their profits in developing the project, and investors hold a strict line on developers with many contingencies and contract clauses that put the risk on the development company. Investors have to have all of their ducks in a row to sign off on the project, and any delays that come out of the developer's cut. There are developer fees that are paid over the housing project's life cycle. This is why projects stay on the developer's books far after construction is completed and a management company takes over the project. The money the developer makes on the project is largely made up of developer fees. Those fees are the last to be paid out on a project after all contractors and subcontractors are made whole, and cost overruns and delays that can cut into the amount of a company ultimately makes off the project. Those developer fees can be deferred for a number of reasons, further complicating the timeline and process of the payout. Developers like Four Corners need construction companies to build the low-income housing project, and that's where contractors like Hamilton Builders come in. For a number of years after Four Corners was started, Hamilton Builders was the contractor for all Four Corners projects in at least 3 states: Missouri, Texas, and Colorado. Hamilton Brothers was responsible for the construction of the housing development, which included a multitude of subcontractors and handling the invoices for construction. The low-income housing projects also needed an architect, and Barron's firm became the architect of record for Four Corners projects. Because a governmental agency is responsible for distributing tax credits, LIHTC is a heavily regulated industry with built-in checks for regulatory approval. Essentially, for a project to receive tax credits for a 10 to 20-year life cycle, the developer must prove, through financial records, that the project is being developed and constructed according to the plan that was approved by the regulator. Throughout the trial, attorneys on both sides spoke regularly of the gatekeepers in the industry. Those representing the defendants used the high regulatory nature of the industry to try to show that any financial records submitted in a packet for a specific project would have many sets of eyes throughout the approval process. This is quite the article. Let's see. Four Corners started in 2011, and Hamilton Builders followed in 2014 with Baron Hamra and the Hamilton brothers as equal partners in each entity. It was revealed throughout the trial that during the early years of the companies, there were few employees, and the company was not aggressively bidding on projects like it later would. For a number of years after the companies were started, Four Corners and Hamilton Builders were doing well, and all the partners received regular distributions that amounted to at least hundreds of thousands of dollars collectively. Then the companies got a little more aggressive, according to the testimony at the trial. Four Corners entered other states like Texas and Colorado, and Hamilton Builders entered those markets looking to construct multi-million-dollar housing projects quickly. The companies grew together, sharing staff and expenses, operating out of the same Springfield office building. Enter Adam Horton, who became a central figure in the lawsuit, even added to the suit as a defendant in early 2026. The jury's verdict was in favor of Horton and Barron's claim of fraudulent misrepresentation. Horton officially joined Four Corners in 2016 with more than a decade in the affordable housing industry, including employment stints at Gardner Capital, BKD, and Associated Electric Cooperative Incorporated. Horton is a certified public accountant, and his previous experience made him an ideal choice to help lead Four Corners into its next area at the LIHTC industry. Horton worked on applications for projects, developed strategies for bidding in new states, and quickly became an instrumental piece in both the companies. Throughout this period, Horton ended up wearing many hats and was assigned multiple executive roles at different times, such as Chief Financial Officer and Chief Development Officer. The rosy business relationship among the 4 partners of the LIHTC companies changed in late 2018 and into 2019, when the 4 members of the Four Corners began to have disagreements regarding the running of the business, according to the original petition. The partners were still receiving cash distributions from the companies, but those distributions were far less than the early days. And on top of that, the partners were asked to inject cash into the companies in order to meet obligations. Some projects in new states, like Texas, had come with steep cost overruns, which had allegedly eaten into the company's profits, and therefore the cash that would be distributed to the partners, according to the testimony during the trial. In that time frame, Barron alleges that it was the first time the company needed capital to meet its obligations. According to the lawsuit, after Barron asked for documentary support illustrating the cash flow problems and was not provided sufficient information, she told the other partners and Four Corners that she did not want to continue the business relationship. It was also noted that Barron refused to put funds in to meet the company's obligations. The time frame became known as the breakup and was referenced as such during the trial. The timeline of the breakup differed in various references, but it was agreed that there were company meetings that discussed a wind down of operations in summer 2019. Barron officially filed the lawsuit in July 2022. Following the breakup, all partners and Four Corners and Hamilton Builders agreed that the operations would begin to wind down. The lawsuit alleges that at this time, Mike Hamra and the Hamilton brothers started 2 new entities in the LIHTC development industry, a development company called Trinity Housing Development and a construction company called Hamilton Builders Contracting. Barron was not a partner in the new entities, and her suit alleges that the new entities directly competed with Four Corners. Okay. Let me see. Try to see if I can condense this a little bit. The original petition also alleges that the new entities formed by Hamra and the Hamilton brothers used Four Corners resources. According to a counterclaim filed, the Hamilton brothers allege that Barron started her own development company that worked on LIHTC development called Raga Properties that completed with Four Corners for low-income tax credits. According to the operation agreement for Four Corners, all partners were allowed to be part of entities that competed with Four Corners in the LIHTC industry. No party signed a non-compete. And then in the wind-down period, it was decided on the LIHTC projects were going forward that would fall under the Hamra Hamilton Enterprises. Trinity would serve as developer and HBC as general contractor. The entities that Barron was a part of, Four Corners and Hamilton Builders, operated out of the same office space as the Hamra Hamilton Brothers entities, Trinity and Hamilton Builders Contracting. They also shared other resources, such as some of the same staff members. With the wind down of Four Corners, Horton became the chief financial officer at Trinity. Other Four Corners employees worked for both Four Corners and Trinities. Okay, skimming a bit to the end after some history. It is a pretty complicated case. So the jury reaches a verdict in 2.5 hours. After 9 days in court and a lawsuit with years of evidence, the jury reached a verdict in 2.5 hours, siding with the defendants, Hamra, Horton, and the Hamilton brothers, in all 6 claims. In Barron's first claim that alleged a breach of fiduciary duty on behalf of the Four Corners by Hamilton brothers and Mike Hamra, the jury favored the defendants. In the derivative claim on behalf of the Hamilton builders for breach of fiduciary duty, the judge favored Douglas Hamilton. In the claim of fraudulent misrepresentation against Horton and Hamilton Builders Contracting, the jury favored Horton and HBC. In the 3 counterclaims, the jury also favored the defendants. In the defendants' claim against Barron for breach of contract, the jury awarded $1.1 million to the Hamilton brothers and Hamra. In the claim for unjust enrichment, the jury awarded $1 in damages to the defendants. And in the claim for equitable contribution, the jury awarded under $168,000. The attorneys and Judge Taylor accepted the jury verdict, and their respective parties began to leave the courtroom. According to motions filed in the case, witness testimony, and attorney comments, attorney fees will be added to the damages in the suit. Court records note a hearing is required before a final judgment will be entered on the case, and as of August 19th, there was no hearing scheduled. Mike Hamra, Doug and Ryan Hamilton, and Adam Horton were pleased with the jury's verdict and plan to continue building their respective companies, according to a collective statement emailed from their counsel, Kelly Farrell. We appreciate the jury's careful attention throughout this lengthy case, the defendant said in the statement. They reached the right decision, finding in our favor on all counts. We are grateful for their service and their commitment to following the facts and the law. We are pleased with the outcome, ready to turn the page, and focused on what matters most, serving people in need of housing, supporting our employees, and moving our business forward. Horton, who was added as a defendant in the lawsuit in early 2026, in a separate email to the Daily Citizen added, "After 4 years of litigation, we are relieved to have this behind us and move on. Horton may be speaking too soon." Barron's attorney, Taylor White of Kutak Rock, declined to comment on the future hearing, but said his client plans to continue litigation efforts. "I can't comment further on the hearing at this time," White said in an email to the Daily Citizen on August 18th. "We will pursue all available options, including an appeal." If you want to read more on this article, because I did condense it down a little bit for time, it is called "Jury Sides with Hamra, Partners, and Multi-Million-Dollar Fraud Lawsuit." It is on Springfield Daily Citizen's website.
All right, then. That was quite the article.
I didn't even finish it.
Huh? What?
You want to start reading this one?
Okay. Also from the Springfield Daily Citizen, but this is a different one. Springfield man sentenced to 7 years for assaulting U.S.
Postal.
service worker. This is by Jack McGee. Thankfully, this article is short.
It's okay. Let's keep going.
Okay, so there's a picture of a guy in front of he Courtney Ellis.
There is a mugshot photo of Courtney Ellis, provided by the Greene County Sheriff's Office. It is a man standing in front of a gray brick wall, wearing a black and gray striped shirt with long hair and facial hair over his lip and on his chin as he looks at the camera.
A Springfield man was sentenced in federal court August 18th for assaulting a U.S.
Postal?
Service worker in June 2025 after pleading guilty earlier this year. Courtney J. Elias, 45, he's 45 at this time, he was sentenced by Judge M. Douglas Harpool to 7 years to be followed by 3 years of supervised release for assaulting a
postal worker.
Who are those?
People who deliver mail.
Okay. While he was performing his official duties, according to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Missouri. According to court documents, Ellis struck the victim on the head with a wooden board while the worker was delivering mail to
Ellis's address in the 1900 block of South Virginia Avenue on June 18th, 2015, and subsequently...
Wait. You said 2015.
I apologize. 2025. And subsequently told the postal employee who was delivering mail along the route for the first time and was wearing a USPS uniform and a marked USPS delivery vehicle that he didn't belong in the neighborhood. The postal worker, identified in court documents as CH, believed the attack was based on race, according to the previous reporting. The letter carrier is black and Ellis is white. After striking the victim, Ellis followed him back to his vehicle, where he continued to yell and swear at him through a closed window. CH was taken by ambulance to the hospital. He suffered a concussion. And that is the end of that article.
Wait, he's alive?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna read the next article from the Springfield Daily Citizen.
And this one is about Springfield Public Schools setting rules for AI in classrooms. I've actually,
Let's keep reading. We don't need to do any personal comments.
I'm just saying I came across this at one point.
Awesome.
Not the same article, but it was something similar.
We don't need to do any personal comments. It's okay.
Anyways, underneath the title, it says a new handbook lays out how students could face discipline up to possible suspensions for severe misuse of artificial intelligence technology. And this is by Joe Hadsall. There's a picture of a girl close up into view and a boy out of view. It shows students in some sort of computer lab, and it shows them it's students at Parkview High School working on the school's yearbook. This photo's by Shannon Kay. The students, there's a guy behind the girl. He's wearing a gray jacket, and the girl has long black hair, and she has a jacket that's red, and it says Brooklyn, New York on it. Did I say who the photo was from? Shannon Kay?
Yes, you did. Let's keep going. You got this.
Anyways, the subject of using artificial intelligence in the classroom was big enough for its own handbook. In addition to its usual student handbook, Springfield Public Schools has published a handbook dedicated to the use of AI in the classroom by students, teachers, and administrators. The Artificial Intelligence Handbook, there's only one, no handbooks, just handbook.
It's okay.
It includes 36 pages of education, guidelines, and rules for how the
Omnipresent.
Technology is used across the district. Its intent is to answer a growing number of questions from not only students and teachers, but also community members about how the tech is used. Bruce Douglas, Chief Information Officer for SPS, said the handbook was developed over the spring and summer of this year using feedback from campus communities. We started with focus groups at our high schools, and we heard from students and the teachers about what they were doing with AI, Douglas said. He continues with saying, one of the key things we heard was that they were wanting clarity about how we use it and what we use it for. What's the guidance about how to be responsible? That was crystal clear. AI chatbots and assistants are becoming more and more used as tech companies place them inside productivity apps. Students have turned to AI for assistance in homework, while teachers have turned it for developing lesson plans and handling a growing amount of paperwork demands. Available to download, SPS AI Handbook details how students and staff members can use the technology in a safe, ethical manner in their education. It also spells out how AI can be misused and outlines possible consequences. Students, for instance, could face
Referral.
loss of technology privileges and possible suspension for severe instances of misuse. Teachers could also face consequences such as administrative leave or did I say right?
Yep.
Or employment termination for similar severe instances. An age limit now applies. Students younger than 14 will see apps only through teacher-led demonstrations. Older students can use district approved tools at their own
discretion,
provided they have a teacher's permission. The AI handbook, the AI handbook's rules and guidelines are centered around 4 pillars. Number 1, ethical and responsible use, which covers cheating and protecting people's privacy. Number 2 is use of critical thinking skills in order to verify generative results. Number 3, remembering that humans are always the boss in projects and the ones who will be held accountable. And number 4, emphasizing AI as a tool or an assistant, but not a substitute for actually doing the work. So, use AI for suggestions.
Let's keep reading.
Sure. It also has sections for parents and other stakeholders that offer guidance on how to safely explore AI with students and
on how to safely explore AI with students and protect privacy.
Okay, there we go. Douglas said the AI handbook is in its version it is in version 1.0, and it's part of a bigger district-wide effort to ensure AI
literacy.
Portions of it will be highlighted throughout the school year, he said, and it'll be updated regularly to reflect any new developments. It represents a significant shift from last year, when the district didn't have many policies in place, aside from preventing most chatbots from being used on school-issued devices. The district has hired Nicole West, a former professor at Missouri State University, as its AI coordinator. Douglas said West will work alongside the district's
curriculum
instruction team to evaluate which AI apps the districts will allow students and teachers to use. Through its newly created Artificial Intelligence Academy, the handbook details how staff members will be trained, including taking a baseline safety course and attending future sessions about best practices. And a governance committee will offer guidance and direction as the quick changing tech develops. Douglas said that SPS studied other districts to get to its current guidelines. School districts are in all different places. This is obviously a hot topic. Douglas said, con- Douglas continued and said, "We looked at what others are doing. Some structures helped guide the conversation, but this was all informed by what SPS needs."
Switching gears over to 417 Magazine, I'm going to do some bite sized snippets of food news in Springfield. So underneath that is a row of sushi rolls. They have some seafood in the middle, surrounded by a layer of seaweed, then rice, and then are topped with meats, fish eggs, and green onions. If you're looking for dinner plans tonight, look no further. It's opening day for Melting Borders Kitchen and Sips. This new concept from longtime Springfield restaurateur Angel Kim is in the same spot as his former business, Rico Brazilian Grill. Our first impression of the menu, it's quite diverse with cuisine that spans flavors from Korea, Argentina, and America. You can get sushi, tacos, or a burger. No matter who you bring along for the ride, they'll be able to find just what they're craving. One offering that looks delicious is the dak galbi, which features spicy stir-fried chicken marinated in gochujang and served with cabbage, sweet potatoes, and scallions. Niji 2 Sushi Bar and Grill has officially started slinging rolls yesterday. We peeked in the window right before opening day, and the interior has the same bright, modern feel as the original location on Lone Pine, but with some more colorful touches like lanterns galore and a pink cherry blossom arch. They haven't posted the full menu yet, but based on a couple of teasers, it looks like you can expect to find a similar menu to the one at their original location, but with some more Vietnamese offerings such as chicken pho and beef noodle soup. The owners, Michelle and Brian, immigrated to America from Vietnam, so we're extra excited to get these authentic dishes. Vine and Vibes is now open and breathing new life into a beautiful 3-story building in downtown Springfield. On the first floor, you'll find the lounge, which serves zero-proof mocktails and non-alcoholic wine. And the word on the street is that they're serving some delicious fare on the second floor. Devin and Brian Head, owners of this is a little bit of a mouthful. Alternate eats are spearheading the food side of the business, so come expecting their Tennessee-inspired all-American cuisine. We can't wait to get our hands on the Blood Moon Barbecue Burger. The top floor is a private event space, but you'll definitely want to check it out if you're on your work's holiday party planning committee. Couple last itty-bitty news bites. A few weeks ago, we reported on how Meals by Monica and Nana's Kitchen have been using the commercial kitchen at 307 South Jefferson. This past week, Lorenzo Antigiano, owner of What's Alfredo, announced that he'll be using the space to offer Italian cooking classes under the name Lorenzo's Italian Experience. We noticed a new sign at St. George's Donuts on East Sunshine that's hinting at a small expansion. We reached out for more information and we'll report back. And then lastly, 2 downtown businesses just celebrated some anniversaries. Finnegan's Wake just turned 20 and Holdfast Brewing turned 7. Be sure to tell them both congrats next time you swing by.
Also from 417 Magazine, here are more things to do this Springfield. And then here are more things to do this week in Springfield. This is by Terrence Shore McKee, right?
Yeah.
The picture in the article shows people playing. How do you pronounce that game?
Mahjong.
Yeah, it's Mahjong.
Okay. At Cassidy Station's Hay Barn. August. There's a Mahjong night at Cassidy Station's Hay Barn this Tuesday, August 25th. How do I say entrance fee? Table? A table is $20 and it starts at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
And the photo is just 4 people sitting around a mahjong table in the midst of a game.
It's official. From all of our local schools go back to next week. Already? Whether you're a parent thrilled to get some free time back, wondering how summer flew by so fast, or somewhere in between, it's here. With all the focus on back to school and fall festival season right around the corner, this time of year tends to be a bit quieter event-wise. Still, I found a nice variety of events worthy of a spot on your calendar. A family-friendly mud run and and a baby goat yoga on a farm. Aw. We also have introductory classes on.
Introductory.
We also have in what
Introductory.
introductory classes on bird watching and geocaching, plus stand-up comedy. Count me in. A paired beer dinner at Finley's Farms, a promo packed Cardinals game, and more. Speaking of events, the 417 team just wrapped up Biz's 417's annual Ladies Who Launch, which somehow gets better every year. If you've never been, mentally bookmark it now for July 21st to 22nd of 2027. We announced a big change you don't want to miss. August 20th, begin bird watching at the Springfield Botanical Garden. It's free to go and it starts at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Heard all the buzz about bird watching. Heard all the buzz about bird watching, but not sure how to get started on what you're doing, but not sure how to get started or what you're doing. Feel free.
Come to this free class hosted by the Greater Ozarks Audubon Society. Bring a pair of binoculars if you have them, but they're not required. Ages 12 plus.
Friday, August 21st, Brian Bates at Springfield Comedy Club. It's
Ticket prices range from
$30 to $41, and it starts at 7 p.m. on a Friday and
6 p.m. and 8:45 on a Saturday.
Brian Bates' foray into stand-up comedy was anything but traditional. Instead of giggling,
Instead of gigging his way through clubs in Chicago or New York, he spent the first 43 years of his life in corporate America. He's done multiple specials and was a founding member of the popular The Nateland podcast.
Do I have enough time to read all
You do.
those?
It's okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3,
Saturday,
4, 5.
August 22nd, Got Mud Run, Brooklyn Park, Republic. $40 to $50 for entry. Starts at 8:30 a.m. Beat the heat with the messy, muddy, epic obstacle course race. Register in the group, family, youth, or adult divisions. Entry fees include a t-shirt, medal, and food and drinks. The race starts with staggered rush times from 8:30 to 11:45 a.m.
Goat yoga and for end of summer experience. Area 95 Farms at Chadwick. It's $30 to go, and it starts at 10 to 11:15 a.m. There's just something about baby goats and yoga. They're the perfect combo. For this event, simply bring a yoga mat and some water and be ready to show up ready to smile and relax. No experience is required. Yoga mats are available for rent on site for $5. Learn to geocache. I gotta do that again.
Stockton State Park, Dandeville.
It's free and it's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. If you're wondering what geocaching is, think scavenger hunting. Scavenger hunts in the woods. Or you just want to get out of the house for a couple hours, this event is all you. A geocaching expert will guide you through finding your first one, then you'll have time to find some on your own. Meet at the East Campground Shower House. Live from downtown, Park Central Square, free to go, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Come out and enjoy a classic low-key summer night. An outdoor concert in the heart of downtown. This week's headliner is Shape Eater, with a unique sound combining new indie and
psychedelic
rock and roll. Bring a lawn chair or plan to dance and treat yourself to local
concessions.
But
medicinal herb gardening.
You mean herb? Sorry.
It's okay.
Finley's Farm, $30 and 10 a.m. to noon. Farmer and herbalist Lindsay
Liesel McCleary
will guide attendees on a walk through the garden, pointing out and explaining useful herbs that can be grown and used at home in the Ozarks, ages 16 and up.
Tuesday, August 25th, paired beer dinner on the Garrison patio. Finley Farms, $95 for entry, 6 to 8 p.m. Enjoy a relaxed riverside dinner thoughtfully paired with beers from beloved Missouri's breweries. 4x4, Chiflay, Piney River, and others. The 5-course menu includes an amuse-bouche, local charcuterie and salad, main and dessert. Advanced registration highly recommended. Ages 21 plus. Mahjong night, Cassidy Station, $20 per table, 6 to 8 p.m. Experienced Mahjong players round up some pals and head out to Cassidy Station, Hay Barn for a fun-filled night. Bring your mat and tiles and settle into play, laugh, and make new friends. Drinks available for purchase.
And finally, on August 26th is Wacky Wednesday with the Springfield Cardinals at the Route 66 Stadium. Tickets start at $11 and it starts at 6:35 p.m. Spend Wednesday at the ballpark. Tonight's game has several associated promos, including Wiener Wednesday. It's a $2
Ballpark Franks and drink specials for the 21 plus crowd.
Wolf Wednesday, when dogs are welcome. Worship Wednesday, featuring a special pregame performance and message from a local faith-based organization, and Wacky Wig Day, with wigs receiving a $2 discount.
Do you want to read the outro?
You can read it, Maggie.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. Tune in every week, Monday through Friday, on the Blind Community Thrift Store's YouTube channel at 10 a.m. for more up-to-date news from the Springfield News Leader, Springfield Daily Citizen, Springfield Business Journal, and 417 Magazine. Listen after we are live on the Audio Reader Network at www.reader.ku.edu. All broadcasts are played over KSMU's subcarrier airwaves at 67 kilohertz on 91.1 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for more information on receiving a pre-programmed radio. Thank you.
See you guys next time. Sorry about that.